So I watched the Mr. Beast games, episode 4. We're just going to go over this. We're going to go over the episode, my thoughts on it or whatever. A ton of things did happen in this episode. So the episode starts off with the 148 players remaining, showing that. And then we're in that section of where the helicopters are going to pick who goes to Beast Island and continue in the game, while a bunch of people get eliminated. So, oh, wait, before I forget. Okay, that should be fine. So a little spoiler warning there. So the episode starts off with saying that there's 148 players remaining. They're sending, I think, 6 helicopters over to Beast Island with 6 people? No. I think it was 10 helicopters with 6 people on it each. So they're going to be chopping down like over half of these players here. So there's the Beast Island. And the episode number 4 begins with Mr. Beast having these people in a circle and saying that there's one ticket out there for them to go run and find, and then they're going to be picking out the person that finds the ticket is going to pick out 5 people to take with them. And here's the clip.
Good luck.
He tells them good luck, obviously.
If I were you, I would run fast. Your entire future depends on it.
So they go off running like roaches and ants, just trying to find the ticket. And we get to this guy here. He finds it under the table, under a table. And so he gets the win, and now he's able to pick out who gets to go with him to the island to continue the game, to go get the $5 million reward. And he picks out these guys. And there's similarity between all these people he picks out. And I mean, I'm not going to say what it is. You guys can figure it out. The people, the other contestants that didn't get picked out, they figure it out. But yeah, so they win. They're going to the next island. There they go, off. And that counts the first game there. And there were going to be 2, 4, 6, 7 other games. Or 2, 4, 6, 7 games out to go find. And as I was saying, like, if you've seen the similarities, I think this clip shows the same similarities that I saw.
So far, the 2 helicopters that have left have picked majority men. You're trying to turn Beast Island into Sausage Island, and I don't like it.
So, yeah, I mean, it's all guys. It's kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie. I would have at least picked a woman. Like, even if it's not for sexism shit or whatever, why would you pick out other guys that are like, well, let me see these guys. Yeah, I mean, I guess more physical capable than women. Like, you're just making the competition harder for yourself. I don't know, dude. That's just me, but whatever. So then we go on to the next game, and this one is... Okay, this one I got something to say, dude, because this one was weird. So this one is just... There's a counter... So there's going to be a counter and of 10 minutes, and they're going to be blindfolded, and they have to count in their head. Okay, they have to drop the ball as close as they can before it becomes 10 minutes. And if they drop the ball after or keep holding the ball, they're out. And the people closest to that 0 mark without going over, they get to move on to the next one. So we see all the people here and all that. And here's the explanation there, just a screenshot. So some people early on, they drop the ball because they don't want to risk going over. And we can see some are just like, fuck it, I'm not going to risk going over and get eliminated. I'm just going to play the next game. It's just too risky for me. And that's within like the first handful of minutes. Yep.
So when player 970...
No, that's fine. What does Mr. B say here? Why did I say this?
So when player 976 couldn't keep track of the time herself,
so this woman here, she gets
an idea to
she just leaves the game, just drops the ball, and she decides to sabotage.
She came up with an idea to sabotage the other players.
17, 14, 13, 11, 12.
and some people are just like, damn, dude, what the fuck?
11,
they miscount,
12,
and then they just drop it.
48,
And
48, 47,
more people dropping, and these guys get fucked over. And they head count.
Now she's just
Not eliminated, but they just get themselves out of that game to move on to the next one. And the timer hits 0, and this is so the timer hits 0, people get eliminated as they're still holding the ball. And we'll see. I think we see here. No, well, this just shows that people getting eliminated. Just that they go fading away like a low taper fade. So they go away.
Are about to board.
And now it's time to see which 6 people are gonna make it. I think it was 6. Which 6 people are gonna make it? So the ones that got closest to the 0 mark without going over, they're gonna move on to the next one. And Mr. Beast here. Mr. Beast here tells us.
And 6th place.
Okay, yeah, he starts going down. So like 6th place, this person's going, 5th place, etc. These people are going. So you would think that maybe like a bunch of people were off and they didn't drop it. So they count in their head 10 minutes and then they would drop the ball probably like 30 seconds off. Maybe there's 30 seconds off just to be safe. But no, dude, this person in 6th place, this is how close they were to hitting the 0 mark as far as I'm understanding.
And 6th place. Dropping the ball with 0.3 of a second left.
0.3 of a second. That is the 6th person. That is the 6th closest person to not drop the ball over the 10-minute mark. So they were 3/10. What did he say?
0.3 of a second.
What did he say? 3/10?
0.3.
0.3 of a second, dude. So you're saying that the person in 6th place, they were 0.3 of a second off, and then they dropped the ball, and they're still in the game. 0.3 of a second. Do you know how short 0.3 of a second is? I don't really gotta say, but you already know. So right there, I was like, am I tripping? Do you mean like 30 seconds or 0.3 of a minute? No, 0.3 of a second.
0.3 of a second left.
Which is, dude, like, what are the chances of that? And then that's the guy in 6th place, or the person in 6th place. The other 5 people were much closer by the milliseconds. How? 10 minutes, you're counting in your head. Dude, I think you're going to be off a bit. And yeah, sure, the people that were eliminated for still holding the ball, they were off, but the other people, but these 6 people were less than a second off. I don't know what the chances of that are. And I don't see what. If they were faking it, why would they do it that close? And then they don't even acknowledge it as much. But I don't know. So this, yeah, look at that. So here's, I assume this is the minute, a second. So 0.33 seconds. This guy made it, and this guy was in 6th place. I repeat. So he makes it. So, okay, so what about the person in 1st place? How close were they to getting eliminated? And they dropped the ball super, super close to the 0 mark when they, in their heads, were counting. When they, in their heads, were counting 10 minutes.
The final seat on the helicopter. Someone who dropped the ball just over 0.1 of a second.
About 0.1 of a second.
Over 0.1 of a second before the 10-minute timer was up. 672. Yeah.
Okay, so he makes it. So these are the top 6 scores. So they were off. Like, dude, if you. No, there's no way they would have an hour here. They won't count this as hours. But there is no way that you're telling me that the 6 closest people were less than a second off when they were just counting in their head, blindfolded, and as nonetheless as that one sabotager was just like trying to mess them up. 6 people were so close that it was less than 1/10 of a second. I don't know. I'm not gonna say this is fake, but I don't know. Like, what are the chances of it happening? Like, these guys must be super, 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 super. I don't know what the word is. Congested in time. Like, they're so locked into counting the seconds that throughout those 10 minutes, they were not another second off. Not 1 second off. But anyways, we move on. These people move on. The chopper, and then we go on to the next game. And the next game, what was this one? Oh, so the next game, it was everybody gets handed.
One of you can collect 100.
Okay, everybody gets handed a coin, and then they're gonna give it to one person, and that one person's gonna pick out the other 5 people. If they can't give 100 coins to one person to figure it out, then they move on to the next game and nobody goes to the island. But here's Mr. Beast saying it again.
If one of you,
if I didn't explain it well or whatever, but here's Mr. Beast explaining it.
if one of you can collect 100 of these 110 gold coins within 10 minutes, you will claim a spot on this helicopter and pick the other 5 people that go with you.
Okay, so everybody starts saying like, oh, we're gonna pick Jeremy. So this is where this guy comes in, or this is where like a big storyline took place in this episode. So we got Jeremy here. It's this guy in a beard, and if you don't remember him, a few episodes ago from episode number 2, he was the one that basically turned down $1 million so that his team would still be in the game. He was one of the people that turned down $1 million. So this is him right here, and a bunch of people are saying, okay, we could rely on this guy. But some others out there, like these group of women here, and a couple of other guys too, or at least one other guy, they start like, probably not going to give him the coin. So Jeremy, I think it was like 110 coins that were available. He needs 100. So these women here, they start conversing amongst each other, like probably not going to give him the coin because Jeremy's probably not going to pick any women. And they have conversations, and then this woman here, she starts saying the same thing. She starts hearing all the babbling about. And if you don't remember this woman here, she is this one here that was trying to sabotage everyone else.
17, 14, 13.
So that's her, right? And she's on the brink of not giving the Jeremy the coin. So we got Jeremy here. He's just like, okay, I see that a bunch of people are gonna give me the coin, and then he starts kind of like trying to not negotiate, but try to convince the people that don't want to give him the coin to give him the coin. And one of the best players from this episode was this girl here, because she was she just like didn't trust him basically on some Metro Boomin shit, but she's just like not impressed that they're gonna go with Jeremy. And what is this? Yeah, she starts talking to other people like why she doesn't really trust him. And what is this clip?
Are you gonna choose women on your?
Oh yeah. So then the group of women, I assume it's the same group as the previous one, but the group of women here start confronting him about, are you gonna pick women? If so, we'll consider giving you the coin.
Are you gonna choose women on your?
I honestly do not know the people that I'm taking it because I have such a heart for every single person here.
Jeremy, how are you gonna choose?
I'm gonna pray like I've done every.
Okay, so right there, one of the first instances that people get like, oh, this guy, like, okay, like, how are you gonna pick?
Jeremy, how are you gonna choose?
I'm gonna pray like I've done everything in this game.
Would you be?
So then, so he says that, and then people rightfully start asking him, "What is that? Is that really how you're gonna go through with it, or can you? Is there like another more fair option to leaving it up to chance?" And this is what Jeremy responds to it.
Would you be willing to randomly select people?
I'm gonna pray.
That's not a real answer, really.
It is a very
How are you
real
gonna
answer.
choose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
I'm gonna pray about it and let the Lord lead the decision.
Is Jesus leading you towards your friends, though?
Jesus has been leading me every step of the way.
Yes or no?
Yeah, man. And this point that she brings up, it's gonna come back around.
Towards your friends, though. Jesus leading you towards your friends, though.
Jesus has been leading me
leading him towards his friends. And then we have the sabotager from the previous game coming up to him and then asking him the same thing basically.
All I ask is that you take a girl, any girl, just a girl, please.
I know for a fact that there's gonna be at least some girls coming.
Okay, thank you. Just any
And she
girl,
gives him
okay?
the coin. So she gives him the coin there. Now it's up to like, okay, is Jeremy gonna get 100 coins or not? So they do the counting. And he does end up getting the coins. He does end up getting the 100 plus coins, and he's over here feeling like a boss. So Jimmy gives him, or let me say Mr. Beast, because Mr. Beast and Jeremy. So Mr. Beast gives him the ticket, and he's like, okay, now pick the other 5 people that you want to bring with you. And as Jeremy said, he was gonna pray, and so he gets on his knees. And this is the best part.
It's okay, Jeremy.
Fucking, what's her number? 952. 952. She's just like, oh, brother. Like, are we really doing this?
It's
So,
okay.
so Jeremy's just praying. You know, he takes a while. And he comes up and says this.
Everybody, the Lord has you all in my heart. And I want to help serve.
Dude, and then... Dude, I swear, she was the best part in this episode. Honestly, this should be like a whole meme, dude. Like, if I don't see this become a meme on like those X/Twitter gifs, then what the fuck are we doing in 2025? This has got to be a meme, dude. She's like, bruh. And honestly, this was me too, dude. Like, okay, look, I'm not anti-religious, but it's just like, come on, man. It's like, I don't want to say that we all know you're bullshitting, but come on, dude. It's just, I just had the same reaction as her right here.
And I want to help.
It's like, all right, man. So then, so Jeremy starts yapping a little bit, just saying, like, speaking his piece, what he's been told by the big G, by the big JC, and again, 952 over here, just like, dude, are we really doing this? Like, fuck. Like, she already knows she's not gonna get picked, she already knows that she doesn't have a high chance of being picked. She's like, all right, dude, let's just get it over with, man. So Jeremy continues to yap more, and again, it shows shots of 952. It's just like, damn it, man. Like, it is what it is. And more yapping. And does he pick here? No. More yapping, and then we get this
I'm
clip.
going to try to do this the fairest way possible. And guys, if you do not get a ticket, please know that I still love you. I'm going to bring...
Dude, get this woman on an episode of The Office. If they ever do an Office reboot, please get her on it, man. Because she's just like, Jim from the original Office in the U.S. Like, please get her on the next. If there's an Office reboot, please get this woman in there.
I'm gonna bring 2 men forward, and then I'm gonna ask.
But yeah, right there, bro, just says he's gonna
2 men forward.
Bring
and
2 men
I'm gonna
forward.
Ask for their counsel. To be fair, I do need to take women.
And he showed a little bit of his hypocrisy there, but he is just picking 2 out of the other 5 that are needed. But which 2 is he gonna pick? Is it just gonna be 2 random guys? No, not for Jeremy here. He gives it to an associate of his, a friend. I think the people that he picks are friends, but someone that he knows or that he's met at the game. He gives it to him, and then he gives it to another guy that he knows. Nice, super fair. Sarcasm there, obviously. So before that, so he gives it to these 2 guys, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna give each of you guys 2 tickets. One is for you, and the other one, you guys, and the other ticket, each of you pick out who you want to take. And it's just like, what the fuck? Like, they're gonna pick out like their associates, other people that they're associated with, and sure enough, that happens. This guy picks out this guy, and we got Jeremy over here stressing because he's like, damn it, dude, like these people are gonna, I'm gonna get shit for it. And then like, who's this guy gonna pick? He picks out this guy, another person that he knows, and everybody's just like, bruh. And it cuts to the other players, and it cuts to the sabotaging woman, and she has this to say about, like, what the fuck, because there's only one more ticket left, and they're getting the reactions of the other players. And sabotaging woman says,
He was gonna pick women, and that's why I convinced the girls to give him the coin. I asked him personally.
So it seemed
so it's just like, okay, who's Jeremy gonna pick? Is he gonna stick to his word and actually pick a woman? Well, we're about to find out. And he pulls out this surprising move, actually.
I don't know you as well as I should, but your character speaks volumes. And you're not defined by a single decision.
that's wild.
Yep, that was actually a wild moment in the show. So she hugs him, and she says this.
I thought you said you were gonna pick 2 dudes.
I prayed.
Oh no. So Jeremy gets a little bit of shit too. Well, even though he picked a woman, he gets a little bit of shit because of what he said earlier, and this other player calls him out.
I thought you said you were gonna pick 2 dudes.
I prayed and did what the Lord had put upon my heart. And I tried to do it in the most fair way possible.
Love that.
It wasn't fair. My opinion.
Fair way possible.
Love that so much.
This was the most random and fair way that I could do that.
Now I'm pulling a 952, dude, looking at the camera. Just like, bruh, just because this is like the third or fourth time I heard it today, because I watched the episode, I put the clips here, seeing what to talk about straight now. This is like the third or fourth time I'm hearing it. Just
Random and fair way that I could do that.
it was not fair, bro. And everybody's just like this, like, dude, like, all right, man, whatever. But from there, the helicopter goes up and they make it out. Now they go on to the next game, and 952. Wait one sec. So they move on to the next game, and then 952, she has this to say about what just took place.
I'm here to let them know this is official, that 952 is coming for you. And when I get there, it's going to be on.
So right there, I was just like rooting for 954. Like, okay, hopefully she makes it, so she could screw over Jeremy. And so we move on to the next team, and they're made to pair into groups of 6. So we got all of these groups, and only a handful of them or so are going to make it over to the next game. But first, for this game, they're going to be handed these balls on a stick on a platform, and they got to pass it over. They got to pass it over to the end and then make it. And if none of them make it, the last groups of people that still have the ball up, they move on. So this section of the game, we're just going to move real quick, but but it was really intense. It was really intense just seeing like everybody like being locked in and stuff. Some people like fucked up, and it's just like this. So yeah, it just gets like super intense. Like everybody's just trying to move it to the back, like one by one. And some people get eliminated from that game. And this was probably my favorite shot in the episode, because it's like, has Samara, dude. I don't know. This clip right here has Samara, and then with the music in the background, like, I gotta give flowers to the scene, because it was pretty well made.
Keep holding it out. Please, Lord, please, Lord, please, Lord, please, Lord. You're good, you're good, you're good.
Tell me when the first person.
Dude, that shit was intense, man. It's like, look at that shit.
Please, Lord, please, Lord, please, Lord. You're good, you're good.
And then it was windy too. They were saying that it was super windy that day, or during that time. Okay, so these groups of people make it through to the next game. So they made it out successfully, and they get flown out. And then we move on to the next game, where it's, what happens here? Oh, this one, I don't think we're going to go over too much on this one. So this next game, I mean, we're not going to go over too much, but it was, we got this group of people here, they get blindfolded, and at the end of a timer, only one of them can step on the inside of the circle. And if they do, they're going to be able to pick out who gets to go with them to the island. But if you and one more other person were in the circle, then you're eliminated. So it was a pretty risky bet, and this one woman wins. This player 616 wins, and she takes these group of people here, and a pretty diverse cast, I'm not gonna lie. And we move on to the next game as they move out to the chopper. And the next game here, or I don't think this was necessarily a game, but it was an option for the people that were still fighting to get to the island. We had the 2 towers here. You get to choose. You either go left or right. If you go left, you have a chance to play a game up here to move on to the island. But if you want to call it quits and go to the right, there will be $250,000 up there, and it's split among the people that decide to leave the whole Beast games. So kind of similar to what happened in the first episode, just like splitting and deciding, and people deciding if they want to leave right now and secure themselves some more cash. But we get that, and a bunch of people start heading up there, and this is the end result of the people that wanted to split the $250K.
8
of money, which means you're each getting $13,800 and something dollars. And
okay, so what was it? 13.8K. Not too bad for them leaving and not being stressed out and probably getting eliminated in the next games and leaving with less. So, you know, they leave with some cash. But the people that decided to stay in and play, their game was they were going to be at the top of the tower, get handed a little red ball, and at the bottom was a suitcase, and they were going to have to throw the ball and see who gets the closest to it without. It was to, not without, but who gets the closest to it, and they will be the ones to move on and pick the 6 people, if I remember correctly. So kind of the same as the previous, but yeah, it was. It is whoever gets their ball closest here gets to choose which other 6 people move on. So they all throw balls. So they all throw the balls. Wait, let me just show this. So they're all throwing the balls and stuff. And then this one woman here, she gets like super close to it. She gets super close to it. That's her ball right there. And it's just like, oh shit, like let's go.
Looks like the victory was hers.
And it seems like she was gonna win, but then this other woman after her, she throws the ball. And gets a bit closer, just a bit closer, like actually wild. And the original person that was super close.
what do you mean you're?
The original woman that gets super close, 561 Marissa. She sees it happening there, and she's like, "Damn, dude!" Like, to just have the opportunity to be like that, to have the opportunity to be this close, and then just get outmarked by one of the falling balls. So yeah, the later person ends up winning. So now she's got to pick out other 5 people. You know, I was hoping that she was gonna pick out 561 Marissa here, but she goes on to pick. She goes on to. But 696 picks out these people, and we got one more ticket left. So who is she going to hand it to? She's looking at these 2 groups of people here. We got 545, and then we got 561. So I'm hoping that 561 gets it. And I think she should have gotten it, dude, because she was so close. There. So I think that Marissa should have gotten it, but I mean, in the way that I'm talking, you probably already know who's gonna get it.
545.
I'm sorry.
Oh no. Whoa.
It's just like,
And with that,
why?
the hell?
I mean, I think I have a reason as to why she said it. Not gonna say it, but fuck it, dude. Now I think she probably chose her because she might be thinking physical activity. I don't know. But I don't know, or it's probably just because she knows her. I don't know, dude. But she picked her over 561.
545.
I just don't understand why.
Whoa. And with that,
So they all go out.
how you feel?
Yeah. So we get the visual of them all moving on to the next one, and then we get this actual I don't know how to say it, depressing or sad scene.
How you feeling?
I'm okay.
Not to stir the pot, but seeing 545 fly away with them, how does that make you feel?
Just sad.
Oh,
I'm sad.
I'm sorry.
But I have one more chance, so it's okay.
Yep. So one more chance, and so the chopper flies off. And they move on to the last and final game. We have these 9 platforms, and I think it's like groups of 5 or 6. No, yeah. So we have these 9 platforms, and Mr. Beast tells them to get into groups of 6. And then each get on a platform. And then people are wondering, like, okay, what's gonna happen? What are we thinking here? And we have 817 over here. saying this before the rules of the game start.
The only thing I can say is if there's a self-sacrifice, I'm gonna do it. So.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, so already like a big heart in that. But what actually happens to be the game is all the players get handed a coin, and everybody has to give one person in the group all the coins, and then that person with all the coins goes on to the chopper. So there's going to be 9 platforms, groups of 6 people, and only one person out of the only one person out of 6 of the platforms out of the 9 are going to be able to go to the chopper. And the way for that person to go to the chopper is for everyone in their group to give that one person the coins. And they got to make it quick because they got to be one of the first 6 people to get on the chopper. So as we saw with 817, she was willing to self-sacrifice before the game even started. And all the people in the group thought that was very noble of her, so they just all decided to give her the coin. And at this point, she's thinking, this is another little story arc at it. She thinks that she's like self-sacrificed. She's still in her mind right now. It's just, I guess she didn't understand the rules or right there and then. But she starts heading to the group votes her to go to the island, but she doesn't know that. She thinks that she's just self-sacrificing. We get this clip.
Congratulations, you have a seat on the helicopter.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Why'd you give up all the coins?
She was gonna sacrifice for all of us. If there's a self-sacrifice, I'm gonna do it. I thought it was a sacrifice.
It's okay. You deserve it.
You were willing to sacrifice yourself for us, so we did the same for you.
Damn, they sacrificed for me, bro.
You did.
So we get that good scene. Everybody self-sacrifice for the one that wanted to self-sacrifice. So she's the first one to get on the chopper, and now we got only 5, or wait. So now we only got 5 other seats available, and as people start making their choices and stuff, there's this one group. That decides, or mostly decides that, okay, we're gonna pick this guy. We're gonna pick I think he's 218, or we're gonna pick this guy to move on. But a little bit of drama happens.
I'll give my coin. I'm willing to give mine up.
But unfortunately for him, player 723 wasn't ready to forfeit his chance at the island.
They're believing in me, man.
Guys, there's only 4 more slots. Who's getting it?
I know I can do it.
I don't know. You guys got.
Yeah, man, this guy doesn't give it to him. The ones that everyone else is deciding on him. So 723 is like what the fuck, dude. So 723 is already looking like a villain in my eyes. And so as the timer counts down, there's just like as the timer counts down, there's just like, okay, who's gonna move on? And as it was already being said, like, people are choosing him to move on, but it was only 723 that was like, I don't know about this, which fair enough. I mean, to just like give up the opportunity to move on and not feeling the peer pressure to just give it to him. But it just like from an outside perspective, it's just like he's seeming like an asshole, but that's just the way it was. So then they decide to have a game of rock, paper, scissors, and the winner, one and done, the winner moves on, gets all the coins, tokens, and they move on.
What do you think, Christian?
You ready to rock, paper, scissors? Just one time.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Wait, did you guys agree?
And 723 moves on, and the guy that was being picked by everyone else in the group is just he doesn't move on. So it's just like, damn, dude, like, what the fuck?
How'd you decide on him?
Nah, they decided on me, but
Oh no.
Yeah, man, it's just like another sad instance. So you already know that I I gotta root against this guy, dude. Gotta make. Hopefully this guy does not win. Does not win. And then later we get a little bit of remorse, a little bit more remorse as we come back to a shot of this guy. And he has this to say.
What do you think, Christian? You ready to rock, paper, scissors?
Oh wait, what the fuck? That's not the one. Hold up. No, he just cut that part out. Whatever. So then we get the winners of everyone else, and these are the people that are moving on. 723. I'm counting on your downfall in this series. But these are the people that move on, and we come back to the shot of who's 723. I don't want to say screwed over. It wasn't screwed over, but kind of messed up what happened. So we come back to the shot of the this player here. I haven't seen his number really.
I hate that the person that I decided to choose.
Oh no. So we come back to the shot of this player. And then one of the other people that voted for him to move on, she has this to say, and then we get another word from the player that, in my opinion, kind of got screwed over. Not completely screwed over, but kind of screwed over.
I hate that the person that I decided to choose gave up at the last minute.
I should have just taken it, bro. I should have just taken it.
Yep, and then we get the scene of the chopper moving out. And I think that was it. Yep. And that was it for the games there. And now only 60 players remain, and we move on to the island. So we move on to the island. Got all the people here. 60 people. 60 players. And Mr. Beast gives them an option to... So obviously... Right, let me actually find the shot. So we got the 60 people here. And then we got the... Mr. Beast gives them the option to... Either they're going to fight... Or not fight. They're either going to... They got the option to choose if either they're going to... compete to get the $1.8 million island. Or they could just move on to the next game and keep themselves in for the $5 million reward. So as probably most people would expect it, they're like, nah, I don't really want this island. Let me move on to the next game so that I could get closer to that $5 million. But the people, I forgot to say that for the people that choose to go fight for the island or compete for the island, if there's only one winner that could come out of it, if they don't win, then they're completely eliminated. But the person that wins, they get the island and they get to move on to the next game to get closer to that $5 million. So as a lot of people would assume, and what I would have probably done, what I would have likely done too, is just like, nah, I don't really want this island. I think they would still be able to cash out the $1.8 million. And they're like, I don't really want the island. Let me sell it, and I'll get the $1.8 million. So you're kind of fighting for that reward too. But I wouldn't risk it. I would just rather guarantee myself more for the $5 million. So a bunch of people start saying no. Like these people here. But the first person that says yes is number 952. The same one that was salty over Jeremy and that had this to say previously.
I'm here to let them know this is official, that 952 is coming for you. And when I get there, it's going to be on.
So after a little bit of, I don't know, it kind of felt like haggling. She was like a little bit pressured into it, but she's an adult woman. She could make her own decisions. But after a little bit of like conversating and stuff right there, a little bit of conversation, she just says yes.
Here, hold the deed while you think about it.
Come over here.
I don't know. I'm going to try.
She's going for it!
And so she says yeah, and then other people start saying yep as well, as that they're gonna compete for the island. And in the end, we get 9 people. So 9 people that say yes, let me compete for the $1.8 million island. So in the next episode, only one of these people is going to make it out, and everyone else is going to be completely eliminated out of these people. And we get to the end where Mr. Beast is explaining to them, like, okay, what's about to happen. And we get this shot of, I forget what they are, hunters, what would just call it, hunters. We get the shot of these hunters coming out of an airplane, jumping out of an airplane into the water. And Mr. Beast just tells them this as everybody's looking upon the waters.
Good luck to all of you. I don't know why you're here. Go! Go! They're gonna hunt you down!
So everybody starts running. They're like, oh shit, it's about to get real. And pretty much, I mean, presumably, last person to not get hunted down, they're going to move on. They're going to win the island. And we end off on this actual pretty cool shot.
We're ready. I'm sure all of you have the ability to run. But the $1.8 million question is, can you hide?
And it ends there. Cut to the credits. And now we just got to wait for a week from now, for the following Thursday, for the next episode. So I remember that Beast Games episode number 3, it was like being talked about everywhere. Like I kept seeing it on the For You page and stuff. I was seeing it all over TikTok. But this last episode, episode 4, I haven't really seen any talks of it. The only thing that I seen was that got shown to me in my FYP was this post over here from Papa B. He says, Jeremy from Beast Games is the reason people hate religious people. And as we saw in the episode, and what I had to say about it is, like, I see, because he just seemed like it kind of felt like that he was just like putting all the blame onto the big G, the big JC, and I don't know, I really don't like that. It's like, what did he say, like that like the big G spoke to him? I don't know, but we saw that it just kind of felt corrupted and stuff, like choosing the two people that he was close with, and then again, like, now that I think about it, he shifted. Let me come back to these two people. Yeah, like he shifted the blame on these two guys so that way Jeremy would be like, out of the 2 tickets of the people that are gonna go, let me put the blame on him and him to make these 2 people go out and pick other people, so that way I would get less hate or so. Again, shifting the blame away from himself when Jeremy himself could have just come up with like a random challenge or mind game or it's just something like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of one. It's just like, say, I have a number. I have my two hands behind my back. I got a random number. The people that get it correct move on. If there's more people, then we're gonna do the challenge again, and just have it be random like that. But I don't know. He shifted the blame on these 2 people, and then just said that he was gonna leave it up to God to tell him what to do. It's just, I don't know, man. But let me look at the replies. Sorry, pray for him that there's nothing bad here. Jesse Beckwith here says, true, it's crazy how many people on the show think he's genuine because he isn't afraid to promote his religion. It wasn't that. It was just like he shifted. Okay, like as I was saying, he was shifting like the blame. But let me see if these people agree too. From the way you speak, I'm guessing you're protesting. Your opinion on this is not needed. You're barely... Okay, whatever. He's not promoting religion. He's manipulating people through religion, which is different. That's why the last girl on the video is religious as well, and no one has anything against her.
This was the most random and fair way that I could do that.
It wasn't random. Like I said before, it wasn't random.
Hey, Jeremy, I love you, but that was a mistake, dog. That was trash.
He wants to get on his knees and pretend the Lord told him pick her. I speak to God every day, and I know for a fact he didn't tell him that.
Yeah, see, she sounds much more genuine talking to God than Jeremy did. I just feel like Jeremy was trying to put the blame on other entities instead of himself. When it could have just been a random thing. Bro acted like a prophet to lie and give the ticket to the one sabotaging people. Exactly. Another thing too. That one sabotaging girl, she was being an asshole. So why would, if what Jeremy's saying is real, if what Jeremy is saying took place, why would God tell him to pick the sabotaging girl that was being an asshole? You know, God works in mysterious ways, but the way that everything just came up, it just makes Jeremy seem, it just makes it super, 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 super hard to root for Jeremy. Even though he did like a pretty good thing in episode 2. But it just makes him super hard to root for in the next coming challenges. This guy over here says, honestly, it was a bit cringe, but he was fine. My only issue is he gave the last ticket to that stupid girl. But yeah, that's where we end off with that post. Let me see if other people made a post about it. 16 hours ago, yeah. Jeremy from Beast Games did nothing wrong besides picking the singular girl who didn't deserve it. So okay, a bunch of people are hating on that girl. Jeremy can go straight to hell, dude. And then it's just post about in the previous episodes. Jeremy from Beast Games is the most annoying fucking person. So everybody's turning on that fool. Yeah, so there wasn't really much talk about that episode, but that's where we end off on that. So that was the recap type of thing. And that was it. Either way, a W episode though.